everyone, I'm Jamie Trull, CPA and profit strategist, and we are about to jump into the fourth installment of this limited series that we have been doing all month. So what am I talking about? Well, we've been doing a little limited series all about how to increase your profit. So this is actually our fourth and final video about various different ways to increase your profit. And we're talking about it specifically from a financial management perspective, not from a marketing perspective or anything like that, but how do we actually make and keep more money in our business by better financial practices. So before you go and binge watch all the other videos, if you haven't seen them yet, I want to make sure that you go take our quiz so you know where to focus first. That quiz is at jamietrull.com/profit quiz, and it is going to give you a personalized suggested next step to a more profitable business. And then you can go find the video that actually corresponds to that result from the quiz, okay? So make sure you've taken that. Today we're going to be talking about the fourth and final way to make your business more profitable, which is to control your cash. So let's jump on in to what it means to control your cash. What are we talking about here? And I think the key is, right, I typically like to talk about how cash is king or queen, right? Because many of my audience are women business owners, so we'll say cash is queen. But it is super important to a business. It is the lifeblood of any business. I know businesses that are profitable, right, but don't have any cash. Now, tell me all the reasons that can happen. There's some accounting funny business that goes along with that. But ultimately, the goal is that we have enough cash to run our business, right, to grow our business, and also to pay ourselves well. That's key. And sometimes when it feels like cash is going every which way, it can be really difficult to control and figure out exactly how to use our cash in the best way possible. Right? Because we don't even just want to use our cash within our business to grow our business in the way that we want to, right? That's key. But we also want to be able to then take cash out of our business, to have profit left over, to be able to use in our personal life and to meet our personal goals, right? So maybe you want to retire early. Maybe you want to travel the world. Maybe you want to pay for your kid's wedding or college, right? There are a million different things that we want to do with cash, and we need to be able to pay ourselves well in order to do that. And that is why it's so important to have processes and procedures around cash ins and outs in our business, and to also have a really good decision-making rubric for when we should spend cash and when we shouldn't. So in this video, I'm going to give you a couple of tips and tricks about controlling your cash and what kinds of processes that you want to have in place in order to be able to do that effectively. So here are my 3 tips to controlling your cash. Number 1, focus on spending yesterday's money, not tomorrow's. What does that mean? Spending tomorrow's money typically looks like using credit cards, right? And I don't mean credit cards that we're continually paying off. I mean credit cards that we may carry a balance on. It may look like taking out business loans. Again, not all loans are bad, especially when we're talking about business. So we can't think that all debt is bad debt. There is good debt within a business, but all debt does come with a little bit of additional risk than if you aren't taking on debt, right? It comes with more weight. And so for a lot of us, depending on the type of business that you are building, if you can build it, you may want to opt to build it without debt as much as possible, right? Especially if you don't have a huge capital intensive type of business, it is best to do that without debt, including without credit card debt. And really focusing on spending that money only once you have it. So that means stockpiling money when things are good, so that if things aren't so good, or so that if you want to invest and grow your business and spend some money doing that, you already have that money set aside for that purpose. It makes things so much easier, I promise you. So setting up a system that allows you to continually save for the things that are important, including reinvesting in your business emergency funds, so that if things happen, you have money there to help sustain you, that you can continue to pay yourself, that you can continue to pay payroll, right? That you can continue to pay your business expenses is so, so important. It takes a lot of discipline and it takes having a plan. But once you have that, it really isn't so hard to do and to keep going. Tip number 2. You want to have a decision-making system, right? A rubric for how you make decisions about what to spend money on in your business. So what I mean by that is when you're trying to decide whether or not you can afford something or whether or not something is worth it to buy, I want you to go into your mind and think about whether that thing, right, is an investment or an expense, because they're not the same thing. right? An investment, and I'm not talking about stocks and bonds here, but an investment is really something that you do, something that you spend money for, that you expect to generate more money down the line, that you expect to generate maybe more time savings down the line. So you invest in that thing, and hopefully down the line, over the long run, it's going to be well worth it to you. It's going to actually make you more money than what it costs you to begin with. That is what an investment is. An expense is really something that you spend the money and that money is gone. Or maybe there is some level of investment, but it's really indirect, whether you're actually going to get any real monetary benefit from that money that you spent. Okay, so I want you to start thinking about things in terms of, is this an investment? Is this an expense? And having kind of that decision-making rubric around, what is a worthwhile thing to spend money on in my business or not? And my third tip is to have a system. You guys, you can tell I love systems, but to have an actual system for forecasting cash inflows and outflows in your business, right? It doesn't have to be some complicated system. You can use a spreadsheet. I have one that I love, of course, but really, you want to have a system to be able to look into the future and really be able to forecast out, when is cash coming in? Do you expect? When do you expect cash to go out? And is there an issue that you foresee in the future that you can then, make some decisions to prevent, right? Are you going to have that cash shortfall, which might force you to start putting things on credit cards? Or to take out some other kind of debt. You want to be able to see that ahead of time so that you can think about it and make maybe some tweaks in your decisions or tweaks in the things that you do, right, in order to prevent that cash shortfall from happening to begin with. But you want to have those processes and procedures in place. You want to know how to forecast that out and have a good foresight to it in order to make sure that you don't get into a position that, you are kind of backed into a corner, right, that you have to use debt to get out of. So it's all about looking forward. It's all about being intentional about the things that we're spending money on and feeling really confident that those are the right things and those things are actually generating us a return in our business. They're actually helping us grow our business and helping us grow our bottom line over time. Now, as a reminder, if you haven't taken the quiz yet, make sure you take the quiz. That's going to tell you if this is where you need to focus, or maybe there is somewhere else you need to focus first before you even to jump into the controlling your cash element. So the quiz is going to tell you your next best step to a more profitable business. JamieTrull.com/profit quiz. It is something that is personalized to you and to your business and to your biggest pain points. So make sure that you have taken that quiz. If you've watched all the videos in this series, I'm so glad. I hope you got something out of it. If you haven't watched all the videos in the series, go back and watch the rest of them. We have a whole playlist with all of the different tips for increasing profitability within your business. And if you are interested in taking the next step, if this series has really piqued your interest in getting control of your finances and getting more strategic and jumping into the driver's seat to become the CFO of your own business and really feel comfortable making those financial decisions, because you are the CFO, right? If you don't have a CFO, that would be you. And so you want to feel really comfortable making the decisions around pricing and costs, right? And hiring and all the various different decisions that you have to make on a daily basis related to your finances within your business. Then I want you to check out Financial Fitness Formula, my signature program. It may or may not be open depending on when you're watching this video. We're only opening it for a little over a week in the entire year of 2022. So go check out JamieTrull.com/FFF if you want to learn more about the program, get on the wait list, see if it's right for you, because we go into all of this in depth within that program. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.